We're going to talk about Winlink, the free software to download, and Jerry was gracious enough to give me his presentation, and so I mean I've cut it down to probably about 60 slides, but that's okay. So, but in the meantime, we're going to get going here. I'm not going to project a PowerPoint and everything up there. If you're interested and you want to go into Winlink and you get on winlink.org, and there are so many YouTube and presentations out there that you can look at, and they will go very, very in depth of how it works, the in and outs, and what it's supposed to do. Winlink is a global radio email, it's just like it says there in the paragraph. And using your radio, RF, telnet, internet, whatever, and doing sending email messages or text messages or attachments or weather reports or whatever it is. So it is down and dirty what it is. And it's a very powerful program. Jerry and I get on once a week on a website. It's wavetalkers.com, and it's very powerful. And this group out in the West Coast, they have presentations every week. They have YouTube videos. So that would be a good one to get on. To learn a lot about the Winlink program. But for tonight, as you old guys, like Mama said, get home before the street lights come on. So I'll try to get you out before the street lights come on. So if you download Winlink, and if you go down, and I guess I'm still on screen share, if you go down to the lower right-hand corner down there, it says get Winlink Express. You go to that page and you do the free download and download it to your computer. And Pat, it still will not work on a Mac unless you're running Windows in the background. So you'll have to have a Windows application platform, or you can use the a Pi or something like that. I don't use those. I use Windows, so I kind of keep it simple. So, but you download it, and it's very simple to download. And when you download, and I'm going to try this, Ryan, make sure I do it. And when Jesse asked me about doing a presentation on this, these are the questions that I get all the time. How do I set it up? How do I send a message? And I thought, well, this is what we need to know. This is the basic setup, or basic setting it up and getting logged in and getting registered. And Winlink's done a lot better in doing this. It used to be years ago, you had to send a Winlink, get approval, they would send it back, and then you had to log on, send a message, yada, yada, yada. So they've gotten a lot better with it to make it simple for us. When you download it, you'll see this screen here. This will be your kind of a dashboard of Winlink. You go to settings, go to Winlink Express Setup, and you fill it out. You have to be a licensed. You can be a tech, extra, general, whatever. And you have to be licensed. And then you just put your call sign in. They want an email address other than Winlink, because your Winlink address will be your call sign at winlink.org. So they want another email address. One very important box right here, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, is put your grid. They want your grid in there. And down here at the bottom where it says service codes, when you download it and you open this window up, and it'll just say public. So what you need to do is put a space and put ecom, and then that's the only thing, no edit, just one space, and put and add ecom. And what it'll do is you'll pick up your additional gateways that are listed under ecom. And then there's other information over here. And just fill it out over on this side over here. And then when you hit update, what it'll do is it automatically puts you in the system. And then, and you'll be able to send, they'll send back to you a message, and you send a message back to the Winlink developers. Any questions? No questions. I can see the room, but I can't see if anybody says anything. So
I have a comment though. The first time you open up Winlink, it will automatically take you to the settings screen.
Yeah, I think they got that. They just did start doing that. So, any questions?
Yeah, we got a question in the room here.
All right.
Yeah, when you were saying ecom, how was that spelled? 'Cause I thought I saw like EMCOMM, or am I just?
Yeah, it's MCOM.
MCOM, EMCOM.
MCOM.
Okay.
What did I say? Ecom?
You said ecom.
I'm sorry. EMCOMM. My bad.
Thank you.
Just add that one space and add that word. Okay.
Any other questions in the room? Well, I think we're good here, Ed.
Okay. And if you go back to the main page, and like I said, it's a messaging software to send messages. And you're probably thinking, why? We're not in a hurricane area. We're not in an earthquake area. Why would we need to send messages? Basically, we could be in any type of disaster. And when I was working for EMA, our biggest disaster that we plan for, other than tornadoes, because tornadoes are specific to an area, they're coming, and they'll hit an area or whatever. Ice storms and blizzards. Man, that was something we planned for a lot. If you think back in the 90s and some of the ice storms we had, it could really cripple the county. And if you remember back when we had Hurricane Ike that went in and knocked out our power, and we were without power for weeks. Some people were without for weeks. I mean, I worked in the EOC for about 8 days straight. It was an eye opener. So, all right, get back to Winlink. You're set up now, and you got a response from the Winlink developers. You are in the system. So now what do I do? This is just like an email system. The only thing is you don't set it to receive emails every so many minutes or whatever, or send emails. You have to go out and you have to hit a gateway, whether it be HF, VHF, or if you're using a telnet. Telnet is, the internet. You're hooked up to the internet and you can get on and send telnet. So, you have to go out there, hit the gateway, it downloads and comes back to you and downloads it into right here. You can see where George sent right here a check-in for this week. And in order to send back to George, I have to send out to a gateway. So I have to either go HF, VHF, UHF, or Telnet and send out to a gateway and send my message from my computer back to the gateway. And then it goes to George and he has to download it, to receive it. So it's not an automatic deal where you're getting emails all the time, just to, be clear on that. All right, move to the next one is you're set up, you got your window here and you're all set up. How do I send a message? Right here, I hope you can see right there, it says new message. I'm going to leave it on Telnet, and hit a message. And it's for some of you, it'll look familiar as a email setup. So I'm going to send a to, and what I'll do is, George, what is it? Yeah, N3 VQW, isn't it?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. He's in the system. He's in the system. All you got to do is put his call sign in there. Tab down. Does this look all familiar? It's email. Oh, testy. Okay, test. I have it filled out. I'm going to send it to George, and all I have in there is put his call sign in, and it automatically pops up because George is a registered user of Winlink. What I have to do is I have to post this. I cannot hit a send button. There, as you can see, there's no send button. So I got to post it to the outbox. And you look over here in your menu over here, there's two in there. There's a response back. There's George right there. So there's your outbox. Everybody with me? I'm gonna leave it on Telnet, but if you open this window up right here, you'll see Telnet, packet, backdoor, robust packet, and all these different ways of sending your message. I'm going to leave it on Telnet, which is the internet. And you come back over here. There's your outbox. I'm going to open a session. And if the demo gods will do it, I'm going to hit start. So I'm going to go. I sent out 2 messages. I received 4 messages. You can see here down at the bottom. And it closed out the session. It disconnected. And what it's going out to the Winlink the cloud or all their gateways and everything out there, and it's sent. Now, I'll close that out and I'll open this here, and you'll see, I gotta minimize my editor screen here. Okay. All right, there's Bob. He sent a message in. There's one. Some of these are ones checking into the net. So I'll just open Bob's up here. Bob's checking in, MRG. Thanks, Bob. I'll put you on. He's checking into the net. And while we got him up there, I run a weekly net. This was, I was asked to start this, and now we're up to, I usually run anywhere from probably about close to 90 check-ins a week across the country in Puerto Rico. And so all it is I started out using just a one-liner. All I wanted was a one-liner just to get you to use Winlink. So you put your call sign, your first name, comma, city, county, state, and sent via what mode? But it would be Telnet. If he would have sent VHF, he would have put VHF packet. If you would have sent HF, you would have sent HF. Some guys, girls, ladies, they'll put on their, their HF Vera, ADAR, and, whatever they sell and send. They'll put that on there. I take that data right there, I put it in a access database, and then every week I'll compile all the data on Friday, and I'll put out a report via Winlink. I'll send out a report. I'll do a mapping in Google Maps, and you can get on there and you can look on Google Maps and see where everybody's checked in on Google Maps. And so that's a very simple, like I said, you can do a day, night, middle of the night, in your jammies. George does it, petting his cats. So that's all right, George, But any questions? I don't see. I probably should open up that. Did I have anything? We're on. Any questions?
Front of the room, but I'm not seeing any hands. Oh,
Good,
no,
good.
actually, hold
All
on.
right, I'll move on.
No, hold on.
I'm holding. I'm in holding
Two
pattern.
questions. I'll go to Chezzy first and then Rocky. Chezzy?
Okay, Chezzy cedes this time to Rocky. So Rocky, you go first and then we'll come back to Chezzy.
Dangerous, President. You might be getting to this just now, I'm not sure, but I saw there was an attachment button there. What type of attachments, is that like a document you can attach to it, or what's the limitations on that?
It's 10, I think it's 10 meg. Jerry, what is it? 10 megabytes? I think it is something like that. I'll tell you what, here's what I'll do. You can send a picture, a document, but it has to be real small because you're using RF, and a lot of them use Telnet but I'll tell you
can send
what.
a text file, but you wouldn't want to send a movie.
No.
Yeah, I think it's actually, I was thinking it was closer to 1 meg.
Is it 1 meg? Yeah, it's 1 meg.
I don't know, but
I don't have it off the top of my head here. I'll tell you what, here, hold on, let me, if I can open his attached. I have a guy in Florida, WB4QQN. He sends every week. This is what retired guys do. And he sends out of boredom. He'll send every week. He'll send Telnet, VHF, HF. He'll send all the forms. He'll send a check-in form, an ICS 213 form. He'll send a weather report. And also what he'll do is, if I can get it, the right one, he'll send a picture. Yeah, right here it is, right here. Bear with me 1 second. And this is what I received, and what he'll send a picture usually via Telnet. And he'll send a picture of his garden or whatever. He'll send pictures. And this one here, and I'll view you hit view. He's in the Civil Air Patrol. Can you see that?
Yep, we can see it. And the limit is actually 120K.
Yeah, 120. I think it was, it's very small, says Rocky. But he's in Civil Air Patrol. He'll send a picture. And he sent me a message. He says, do you mind if I do this? Because he wants to test everything that he can test, plus send a picture because he lives down in Ocala, Florida. He's part of that whole Florida group down there that uses Winlink, and it gives him practice of sending pictures. So I said, no problem. Whatever you want to do. I accept them. There's another guy down by Port St. Lucie, Florida. There's probably, I think, 4 gateways down there, and he'll test every gateway. He'll send me four or five messages a week, and he'll test each gateway just to be testing the gateways and see if they're working. And he's able to hit them. So did that answer your question? Right there, it says,
Yes.
14.9. I'm sorry, I think I talked over you.
Yeah,
Oh, you're good.
Rocky says he's good. We'll go on to Chezzy's question now. Chezzy?
Yeah. So I see the open session is Telnet Winlink. Where does the RF come into play? Where does radio come into play here?
Okay.
Am I jumping ahead?
Nope. No, I'm just, this is the, let's see, my script was right here. I mean, I had everything written down in this pad of paper here. So, we'll go to, I'm gonna do VHF. I'm gonna open up a session. I'm gonna send Jerry, SCR. Oh, no, not that way, I'm not. Testing. Yeah. You know, the good old test when you send stuff, send more pizza and beer. Okay. All right, I'm going to post that. Now, I was on the internet on the Telnet. I'm still on the internet, but I'm going to switch out of the Telnet and I'm going to go to Packet right here. And I'm going to open up the session. Now I'm using right now, and I don't have the capability to turn my computer around. I'm using the Kenwood 710 with the TNC, and I'm on .01. So I'll open up a session. Now I'm gonna go, because I'm on Packet. If you go back here, if you can see my cursor, it said Packet Winlink up there. Almost for this one here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit here while we're here, channel selection. As you can see, stations found within 185 miles of my grid. Well, I can't hit them with VHF, but as you can see here, there's this, if you had not put in ECOM, you would have not seen this ECOM station. This is, what's his name? Spratt up there in Fairfield. You would only seen the public ones. So, and when you do this and you say, I want to find the stations, channel selection, it's going to come up. And it's using, if you remember the very first, at the beginning, I said a very important part that you have to insert is your grid. You have to have your grid in there as a locator. So it's saying, within my grid, these stations are within my grid. And just one point on that, if you are traveling, because my son lives down by Port St. Lucie, Florida, and there's like 4 or 5 gateways down here on VHF, all I need to know is where I'm at down there is the grid, and I change that setting to the grid down there. It will populate all the gateways within that area where I'm at, just for FYI. So let's take and get, let's hit here. And this is the health department. It says I'm going to hit the health department. This is Hoffman down there at the health department. He's got a gateway set up, and it started my my packet session. It initialized my D710, and and it's all initialized complete. Now, when I hit start, I don't know if you hear it or not. It's going right now, and it's hitting the county health gateway. And it's going to send Jerry the message, or whoever I had, messages to send out in the outbox. And it's going to receive messages back. Just give it a second. Hopefully I don't get a lot of downloads for the week. Does that answer your question somewhat, Jesse? Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing with this. Sorry for the delay, guys and gals. You can see down here, I'm receiving messages. It was queued in my account, and it's coming back to me, and it's coming through the health department gateway. I sent one out, and I received 3. All right, I'll get out of there, and you can see the message that came in. Now, in doing that, not everybody can hit the gateways. This is like, I live up in the Sycamore Township, Kenwood area. And Jerry's gateway, W1SCR, sits down in the hole down in St. Bernard. I cannot hit that gateway. So what I have to do, we're going to stay on the packet, and let's create a message again. I'm going to pick on Jerry. W1SCR. Can't type tonight. Now we're asking for drinks with the pizza. Now I'm going to post that. I'm still in the packet mode for local. I'm going to go up here, open up the session, but the only gateway I can hit will be Jerry's. But I have a problem in a direct connection with it. So what I need to do is open up this box right here, hit the digipeater, and you need to type in the Christ Hospital digipeater. So all you type in is Christ. And I don't, I'm not praying, but that's, I'm praying for the demo gods that they work really, as far as that goes. But I still initialized everything. It shows everything is connected. I got my packet on. I'm on the right frequency. And now I'm going to hit start. And if the demo gods are with me, it's going to, daggone it. I didn't change to Jerry, but that's all right. It'll still show you. So what it's doing now is it's going through Christ. I wanted to hit Jerry, but that's all right. So what it's going to do is it takes a little bit longer. It's showing that I'm starting the call to K8EAF-10. I'm moving up my session, but I'm connecting via Christ digipeater. And it looks like Jerry, it takes a little bit longer. So what it's doing is digipeating through Christ digipeater, and I'll get the same thing. But I wanted to change that to Jerry, W1SCR. So did that answer your question, Jess? Now on HF, now I don't have an HF antenna hooked up. On HF, what you would do is switch it over to HF, and then you would look for a gateway on HF. Now, just a word about HF. I was having problems on HF, and I was using my 897, to do it with a single link. And what I was doing was, I thought, well, I looked at it and I said, oh, here's a gateway. It's 150 miles away. I'll just hit that. But the problem was, I was going over it. I was going over that 150 and hitting gateways that were 400 and 450. So when I think Jerry told me, he says, try hitting a gateway that's further out. I was always successful with one that was up in New Jersey, and I would hit his gateway up there on HF. And what you would do is, as soon as this stops here, you would bring up the gateways that are listed, and then they would give you as far as the propagation, where they're at, if they're good to hit from my location. Remember, back to that grid. It's going to take your grid all the time, but where you are. And then it'll give you a propagation reading out of if it's good, bad, or, other. HF can be a little touchy, as far as that goes.
Ed,
Somebody have a question?
I sent you a form. That check-in I just sent you was a form, if you want to click on it.
Okay.
I sent you a weather report.
All right. And,
Using the weather form.
I'll let these go here for a second. And there's other, you get on, you can look up, like I say, wave talkers, WAVETALKERS.com, wavetalkers.com. They have buku YouTube videos, instructions, and how to do stuff. And it's a Winlink wealth of information website. And there's all kinds of websites and YouTubes out there. What else can you do with it? Position reports. You can do position reports. That's where the maritime use Winlink. If you go to, and before I do that, it looks like I got one other thing, guys, girls, ladies. When you're hitting these gateways on VHF or HF or whatever, just wait and let it run its course. Down here where it says disconnect, you don't want to hang up somebody's gateway. Let it go all the way down. It'll say disconnected report. And let's see. Who sent me a form? Jerry?
Yeah,
Or George? Yeah, it looks like. And are you able to see in the room there the current weather report?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So George sent me a form, and what it does is when he filled it out, he brings up the form to fill out a form. And I don't think we got enough time to go over all this. So he brought up the form in HTML, and then he submits it. And this is a whole nother session, guys. If you want, we can do a whole nother session, on how to do this, and we probably should. And it'll sends it out as a text field message. The recipient on the other side, when they open it, and you saw on there, here, hopefully I don't close everything out. You can see it, there was an attachment right here. So I know there's an attachment. So when I open it up, it takes that text field message and populates back into an HTML form. And that's what it did. And it's through the magic of the Winlink gods that this works. And I applaud them. as far as that goes. Let's see what Jerry sent us, And Jerry sent a Winlink check-in form. And it's a nothing but it's a down and dirty, here you are, very quick, and you can send in forms. And he put his Latin long in there, and it already, and it populates the rest of it, put his grid in, and he sends the form, and I receive it. And that's how I receive a lot of them, as far as that goes. I just wanted, to get this out, how I can get my feet wet and just setting up Winlink and start using it. And if you check in each week on the, I accept the forms, any type of form. I get people that send Red Cross forms, and everything. And whatever floats your boat, you want to test drive, let's test drive it. And that's the only way that we're going to learn it, is by putting our little fingers on it and clicking the buttons and see what works. And I'll answer back to them, yes, I got you. I got your form, your weather report. If you want some nets, I check into about 13, 14 nets a week. And they start running from Monday through Friday. And each day I got, Mondays I have, looks like 6 nets I check into. And you're probably thinking, but Ed don't have a lot to do, but I do, but to be sitting on Winlink. But it's not hard. And what I would like to do is on another session that we do forms. And once we get our feet wet with, using the Winlink and doing and sending the forms, what we can do is I'll show you how to set up a template. And the templates, I just brought up, I'm going to, a message. I want to create a message, and I go to templates, and you'll see right here, these are the templates. When I downloaded RMS Express, here's the templates. They're in there already. In this SGS report, if we have an earthquake, and you can fill this out right here, not the Spanish one, but the one below it, and you can fill out that report and send that, and you hit send, and it'll send it, and it goes to the SGS, and they reply back, hey, you had an earthquake, you're reporting it, and they will also accept exercise. If you put in there, if you want to just test drive it and see, you can do that too. The GPS position report, if right here, this is what the ships and everybody else out there use, and I'll show you something here real quick. But here's the weather ones down here: severe weather, local weather, hurricanes. Florida uses that down here. And
I've even used the NTS message form.
Yes. And then if you go further down, and when you set up, you'll have your area of templates, because you got your call sign registered on your specific software. And just a note for your network guys, everything I've read, everything I've seen, it won't work on, this software will not work on networks. There's a big problem with it. And I just heard them say it again Sunday on Wave Talkers about there's a problem trying to get it to work on networks. All right. And then, another session we can go through is here. And you can create your own templates. Here's Alaska. I check into Alaska Net, and all she wants up there is the same thing: call sign, name, city, county, state. It's sent via what mode? I hit there, I put it to the outbox, and I hit send, and it's gone. I don't even have to type this up. And like I said, that's a whole nother session that we can go over, because, I think the street lights are coming on. So, but I covered a lot on, I think, if you, position reports, and if you, let's see, I sent a position report in earlier. And as you can see on the APRS, you look down there, right there, there's my position report. It automatically populated into APRS, and it sent out a position report in the Winlink. And if you go on the Winlink website, and this is live maps, and you hit what I hit was the positions. And when you're bored or something, and you don't have anything else to do, you can check these, and you'll see these ships, these boats and sailboats and whatever are out there in the ocean, and they send, their hams, and they're sending position reports of where they're at. This is live. In fact, you look right there I am. This is for demo use today. They give me my lat and long, and it's a live feed. Okay.
You ready for questions, Ed?
Questions?
You ready
Somebody said something. I didn't hear it.
I said, are you ready for questions?
Sure.
All right. Any questions?
I just wanted to get, the ones that are not using it, and I think, well, it's just a messaging, and it's another tool in the toolbox for us, guys, to send messages. Another thing is, and I sent it out, and there's a guy down in Tennessee. He does a lot of emergency communication, ACK, I forgot his full call sign, Jason down there. And he uses Winlink, he uses Packet and all that. And I sent out earlier, yes, I'm sure the question in somebody's mind is it only going to email? Well, not really. You can also send out, and I'll see my sent. Let's see if I can find it. There it is right here. And you got to do a little bit of pre-planning, beforehand. It's like everything else. You got to have a plan. You got to do some pre-planning. If you got people outside of your area, like my son lives in Florida, and everything went to pot in this area. We had a major earthquake, and everything's gone. And he's trying to get a hold of me, or if I want to send him a message. Now, I sent this to myself. You got to know the carrier, the provider of the cellular service. Where I use Verizon. And if you put in your Verizon number at vtext.com and send out, this was a test I did a little while ago to make sure, it's still working. And all I did was send this out HF. I sent it VHF, and let's see, and I don't know if you can see it, but it came up on my phone, the text message, I'm okay. This is a test. And you just sent a emergency, okay, here I am, all right, I'm all right. And and you send it via text. You cannot send a text in return. That's the only problem. It's one way going out. There's also a form, welfare check. And, that's one of the things I'm pushing with Aries. What can we do if there's a major event occurs? And what can we do as a service using Winlink? Well, we can send welfare checks, and it's a one-way message going outbound from your location to an email address other than Winlink. Anybody's email address. I'm okay, family's okay, the dog drowned or whatever. I don't know, so it's got a lot of potential for emergency communication.
One thing is you can email out, but you can also receive emails, but there has to be some setup on the person sending you from outside Winlink Gateway to be able to send you an email. You have to have that header to force that.
Correct. You have to have the header. Yeah, they can send you an email back, and what they would do is put it as like my email for Winlink is K8EAF at winlink.org. They put that in it, and they put the WL2K in the subject line, and they can send a message back to me. But I have to open up a session, whether it be on Telnet, RF, or whatever, and to receive it.
Also, if you send an email to an outside email address, they can reply without that header. It'll let them.
Some of them will,
Yeah.
not all of them. I think, if there's the interest in, more information, maybe we can have another session of forms, filling out the forms, and they're not difficult, believe me.
Mhm.
And they're quick and down and dirty. Here it is, and they'll send the forms out.
All right.
Did I cover everything, Ryan?
Yeah, Kitty says the street lights are on, so.
Oh, Josh, boy.
Any final
I'm
questions?
sorry, Kitty. Yeah.
Any final questions for Ed? All right, nothing in the room. All right, thank you, Ed.